With me today, and this is my boy, right? We grew up together. They called us the dynamic duo down in West Virginia. We tore it up. Did we win the championship that year?
Yes, we did. It was a Virginia Invitational, the State Farm Invitational.
Okay, and we won. I don't know. I don't know what awards me and you won collectively, but I know we won the championship.
We made first team all tournament.
Made first team all tournament. So Roberto, Coach Allen is like a big brother to me. How you're older than me, right?
Probably by a few months.
By a few months. Well, and here, listen, It's Possible radio show, everybody, it's all about where we overcome challenges, barriers, and we still win. We really, my personal desire through this radio show is to really give people an inside look into how people win in life and everything they do, how they copy and paste, how they copycat, right? It's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. Coach Allen is an author, an educator, father, high school basketball coach, and, ultimately the coach of the Gamble Gators and the coach of the year this year.
Stop it, man.
Again, if you want to call in, I know we got some friends out there who we both know who probably would love to, give us talk to us on the air. You could call at 579-1050, 579-1050. So, Coach, tell them a little bit about yourself. Where you from? How did you get to this point? All that kind of stuff.
Born and raised in over the Rhine in Cincinnati, Ohio. Had a pretty interesting upbringing, in where my household was pretty dysfunctional. However, I am the man that I am today, and I do the things that I do for the youth, for my community, in my profession, and as a coach, because somebody did it for me. I didn't have a father, never knew the guy. My mother was an alcoholic and addicted to drugs, so I had to grow up pretty fastly. And I got to this point due to my football coach. That's where it started at, with Coach Steele. I always give him a shout out, and if you read my book, you know my story. Coach Steele was the first individual that was a clean-cut brother that taught me what a man looked like, how he handles his wife, his woman, how he carries himself. And I really appreciate him. Went on to high school and played for Robert A. Taft under the leadership of Eric Thomas. And Coach T, as we know him in Cincinnati, really pushed me and pushed all of us to be great men, not only basketball players. What I really appreciate about Coach Thomas was he never gave me an excuse. During high school, I never complained to anybody about my personal circumstances and challenges, and I just kept pushing home. Coach Thomas didn't let me make it an excuse. I didn't make it an excuse. And one thing that he instilled in me was to always give back. He always told his teams that once we made it, we better give back. And that always stuck with me. That always stuck with LaMarqué. That's why LaMarqué's giving back right now, and I'm proud of you too, bro. So it began with Coach Steele's, Coach Thomas, and then when I got to college, Coach Priest, who gave me an opportunity at ODU. He taught me some valuable lessons, and it's funny that I teach a class at Gamble, and I just told the students this: say always be on time, and when you're on time, be what you're supposed to be, and where you're supposed to be, work hard. And I try to do those things, and I instill those things in my own children, as well as the young men that I have the opportunity to coach. So I'm to this point now, just by the grace of God, praying and having a belief of winning. My mentality is to never fail. Even if I lose a basketball game, or even if we have a challenging and adverse moment, that's a win for me, because we were able to learn from it. I was personally able to learn from it, therefore I can teach others not to make the same mistake that I made or that we made.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, right? So you took over a basketball program at a high school, which was literally placed in a junior high school.
Correct.
And I really don't think you processed what you did when you took over the basketball coaching job. Like,
I was called crazy. I was called crazy, brother. Prior to me accepting the job in 2015, Dave Miller, our AD, and our former principal approached me in 2014. Now, at this particular time, I was this assistant coach at Hughes High School, and I told Gamble no. because like others, and I'm gonna be quite honest, I thought it was a joke, right? I'm like, I'm not coming to this school. I don't want to be a head coach. It was never my goal to be a high school head basketball coach. So when I was approached again and I had made the decision to leave Hughes High School after our playoff run in 2015, I accepted the job in Gamble in May. And my mentality was, you know what, I'm going to go out on the leap of faith. I know we don't have much talent there. I didn't care. I said, you know, I have a vision. I know I'm a hard worker, and we're going to get this done. The big thing for me with Gamble and becoming a head coach there was the Gamble culture. If any parent wants their children to be to be a student athlete, right? I think the first and most important thing is the school's culture, the academics. Is it safe? Do the teachers care about me? So I really played on that.
Yeah, so I mean, but okay, now you got your first head coaching job,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Congratulations. I'm excited, right?
Right.
Now you got to play in that gym.
Yes. See, I love our gym because it makes us better. And what I mean by that, when I was at ODU, we had to run motion offense in a very tight space. So our coach would give us a particular area that we had to stay within, this white line, that white line. So I was used to, as a player, playing it in small space. So in my mind, if we can run offense and pass the ball without turning it over in this small gym, we'll be able to do the same thing in a regular gym. And my mentality once again was, we're gonna win. It's not the size of the gym, it's not the size of the weight room, it's what you do in the gym and what you do in the weight room. And we've been blessed to build year after year after year after year with that small gym.
And, I mean, I go up there. I went to the locker room. I talked to his team before the season this year. I mean, it's not, honestly, it's like, I don't even know if there are any schools that still even have facilities like this.
Right.
Currently, but you guys, the heart, the dedication, the focus, it was almost like they didn't know that everybody else had something that they didn't.
And I think that's because our team reflects leadership. I never complain about it. I never bring it up. We just work. So if I don't bring it up, they're not going to bring it up. Our coaches don't talk about it. We just work.
Okay. All right. And so, what made you take the job?
I had a feeling. You know, when they asked me the second time, you know, after previously asking me in 2014, when they came back for the second round, I was big in the church growing up, right? And I believe in divine intervention. And the way I was approached by Dave Miller and our former principal at Gamble, I just felt it was right. I had a strong belief I can build this thing, right? And I got to give a shout out to my son, you know, Elijah Allen, that's currently in college in Kansas. But Elijah was a really good basketball player, and he followed me to Gamble. I gave him every opportunity once we decided that we would be leaving Hughes where to go play. He could have went and played for any CPS school in Cincinnati. You know, Taft is my alma mater, as we said previously, and I wanted him to play with Taft and Coach Marco, who loves him. But he didn't want to do that. So I said, since we're not going to Taft, we're going to put you in this environment where it's academically sound, the environment is collegiate-like, the teachers care about you, and you're going to play for a coach who knows what he's doing. But Elijah was the first student athlete with a status in the city to come to Gamble, and he put it on his back for 2 years.
He did. Yeah, I remember that. So, like, okay, you took the job.
Yep.
You don't have facilities.
Yep.
You get your son. He say, "I'm coming to play for you."
Yep.
Right. And then, was there ever a breaking point? Like a point where you really just got to the point, like, man, you know, did I make the right decision?
Never.
Talk about that.
Never.
You responded pretty quick. I apologize about offending you, brother.
Never.
But talk about the mentality that kept you energized. Since you say never, why never?
I believe in what we were doing, and it just felt right. You know, when you watched our teams play, we didn't always have the most talent. Our starting five was the same size as me, but those kids played hard. And seeing those kids buy in, and I'm gonna let everybody know what I mean by those kids. Elijah Allen, at my first year, was our only true basketball player. Then we had football players.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, you had a lot of football players.
The other four, we had BJ that came from Wilbur. He can play. He really helped out. But we had football players. So for kids to give me their all and run through the wall for me, that was a great thing. And the biggest thing with that was the relationships that I built with them. But I've never once said, did I make a mistake? Did I make a mistake? No, my friend said, Berto, my coaching friend said you shouldn't have did this, Berto. Why didn't you go to a bigger school? I'm like, listen, this is a very new school, number one. Number two, tell me of all these so-called big schools that's doing it with their kids. A lot of these schools are doing really well from transfers. So I said, you know what? I think I'm a pretty cool guy. I'm going to carry myself a certain way. I'm going to hold everybody accountable. I'm going to be very disciplined. I'm going to give tough love. I'm going to love these kids hard. And the way that we sell our program, from academics, growing from young boys to men, the relationships that we build, that will become attractive. We've had new uniforms every year. I've been blessed to have an administration that doesn't really bother me. They know I'm going to do my job. But again, I never once said I made a mistake. I said, here we come. You're going to laugh at us now, but you're going to be with us later. And now that's coming into fruition.
Yeah, so this year you were the coach of the year. Go ahead, run down that. You were the coach of the year.
So this past year, we were in CMAC Blue. We went undefeated in league play, so I received the Coach of the Year award in CMAC Blue. And as of last week, I was voted by my peers, District 16, Division 4 Coach of the Year, in which I was also voted for the same award last year by my peers. So those guys recognize the work that's been put in, and I really appreciate those individuals that respect what we do at Gamble.
Now, I see you all the time, right, on Facebook, and I'm up, so I might see you at 6 in the morning in the gym with the guys. But I also see you post about their grades, and your kids, for the most part, have a 3.0 on the team, and or close to it. And talk to me about that, because like you were just talking about the culture. You were talking about the culture of the school, and you're taking, which some people probably, I've heard people say, you've heard people say that's a high mark for kids in the urban core going into these schools. How do you get them to do it? What's your process to get them to buy into that?
And I'm gonna first say this before I get into that. This year's team hasn't quite got there yet. My first 3 years, our guys were phenomenal at it. And what I do is we have study tables 4 out of 5 days. So we get out of school at Gamble at 3:45. Then, depending on the day, from 4 to 5:30 or 4 to 6, we study. When a family trusts me with their child, I want them to trust that I'm putting academics first. All of our young men have to sign contracts, and basketball is fourth, right? So I say the same thing when I meet a parent or a parent comes to me about our school. The first thing I say is, judge me on these 5 things. What do I establish with your son on a personal level? How does he grow as a young man? How does he attack his academics? Fourthly, does he develop as a basketball player? And lastly, fifth, is he prepared to go to college? That's what I want to be critiqued on. So you will see me in the hallways, get to class on time. I'm big on it. If some kids have to finish additional work, they can come in the weight room late, they can come to practice late. That's first, because as my uncle taught me when I was playing ball, is you can't be as productive as you need to be on that court or that field if your band is elsewhere. If your grades are not good,
then you're not all the way there.
You're not all the way there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about, I have a homework assignment in this class, or I got a D in this class, I got an F, I got to get up. You can't be productive.
Right. Yeah. And so now you last year you were on an upward trend. This year you guys, boom, you get there, and now how does it feel, right? I mean, you started out with a vision, you didn't give up, you didn't even let it doubt even creep in.
Right.
You just stayed focused. Now, how does it feel to be in a position to know that I had a dream, and I went through all of that, and then now, boom, we're able to see the reward for our efforts. How does that feel?
It feels good, yet I'm not content. I think you and I are the same, man. I'm never satisfied.
I knew you were going to say
never,
that, but
I'm never
I
satisfied,
still had
man.
to ask that question.
I'm never satisfied. Like, I'm obsessed with this game. I'm obsessed with this opportunity to give back to youth, man. And Coach Ozzie Davis, my associate.
Now don't
head
talk
coach,
about man.
That's my guy. That's my guy. That's my brother right there. He with Chomp Nation, but my associate head coach Ryan Harris and Fred Riley and Brandon Miller, like, and coaches that I really rock with in Cincinnati, man, we have a problem. It's basketball, life, coach. It is what it is. So I've just been blessed that families have trusted me with their children. And now you come to Gamble with this year's team in particular, it looks different, yet the same as everybody else. Our talent on the court is different. We no longer have 5 guys that's 5'10" starting. We got some 6'4", some big bodies, some athletes, some really good guards, really great coaching, and that part feels good. Yet I'm still grumpy. I'm a grumpy coach, man. As the season goes on, man, I get grumpier and grumpier because I hate to lose.
Well, listen, any of my aspiring coaches out there, you can call in. You can call in at 579-1050 at 579-1050. I do want to mention a Bible verse. It's really in 1 Timothy 6:12. It says, "Fight the good fight of faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called when you made your good confession in the presence of many witnesses." And every time I heard you talk about how you had that vision, that dream, and how you wanted to build the program there, that's what faith looks like to me.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk about a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I go to church. I read the scriptures. All that's good.
Right.
But can you actually say, "Hey, this is my purpose"? It's another Bible verse I didn't even bring up. I didn't put in my notes, but it just came to my remembrance. It's in I believe 1 Samuel, and it talks about David's 3 mighty guys. One guy he killed 800 people in one fight.
Right.
And the only way physically you could do that is to be wedged into a ravine, and every person you kill stack up the bodies as you back down the ravine.
Right.
All right. That's because you just got to know the geography of that, right?
Right.
The second one was the other guy, and so the reason why I have Coach Allen here, because we need more men like this, right? Like that can coach and expect academics and high character.
Mm-hmm.
So the other guy, what he did was, it says that he fought so long and hard that his hand cramped to the sword. So scientifically what that means is that his brain broke. That means that he literally forgot how not to fight. The part of his brain that says, let go, fight's over, didn't work no more, right? So the more I hear you talk, I hear you sound like the guy, right, whose hand was cramped to the sword, right? Now you still stacking up bodies as you go through the ravine. But let me give you another one. The other one was the other guy.
Those too deep ones you just gave.
Yeah, this was even better than that, brother. Watch this. The other guy, it says in the scriptures that he defended a field of lentils. Most people don't know what lentils are.
I don't either.
A lentil is a field of beans.
Okay.
So even if it may not look valuable to you, it may not. The gym was little. We didn't have resources. We didn't have this. We didn't have that. But this is worth, our young men who come to this school, this is worth my fight.
Yes, absolutely.
This is worth my fight.
This my gym.
Yeah.
Oh, a small gym. So the weight room small. So so we don't have the prototypical locker room. So let's get it. It's mine. I appreciate it. I love it.
And so what I'm trying to get through again, right? It's the It's Possible radio show where we overcome challenges and barriers, right? And we still win. And so today, I want to pull. Go ahead.
Let me hit you with this. We just got blessed this week, right? So back to faith. Now I don't go to church as often as I used to, but I'm a spiritual guy. And I prayed. I'm in Gamble 7 days a week. I believed. This past week, the superintendent notified the city that Gamble will be moving to Mercy.
That's right.
That's around the corner from Gamble. Gymnasium is like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it seats about 1,000 people. So now we're going from a gym that maximizes out at 270 something
Yeah.
to where we have to turn people away because our games are being packed to a small arena where it seats 1,000 people. That's equivalent to some small colleges.
And so
With showers, nice locker rooms, space in basketball offices.
oh, this is so
That's
good.
a blessing. So you can't tell me it's not real. So my faith is it has never wavered, and people see that, and now we're attracting more folks. Most coaches want to sell. People think I recruit. I don't recruit. I don't go to on Facebook or Twitter and going families DMs. I'm not taking kids out to dinner. I'm not buying kids shoes. I'm not pushing basketball. I'm wearing life, and my teams are wearing life. I'm feeling good right now. I'm sorry, brother.
Hey, I'm feeling good too, man.
I received 2 phone calls this morning. One was from a head coach at Felicity, right? He called me about 6:15 this morning. He said, Berto, he said, Coach, our AD stayed back to watch y'all play. And he said, typically with CPS schools, you may see some things that are here and there. He said, but watching that team, they were disciplined. There was no shenanigans. They were about their business. They play hard. They together. You know, and I received another phone call from a coach who I won't say, but to get those phone calls from people and they acknowledge the work that you do without you having to open up your mouth and be a salesman, but the product that you put on the floor speaks for itself, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel good. And that's a testament that you don't got to sell your soul. You don't have to go out here telling lies. You don't got to go out here perping about what you can do for a kid. It ain't about that. You put your head down, you work hard, the work gonna speak for itself. And the other big thing was going to a small school you can't get in school. I can show you my phone right now. I've been in talks with Miami University. I've been in communication with West Virginia. I've been in talks and talking with Stetson. Been to Xavier, been to UC. Now Xavier and UC are preliminary, but my boys and talked to the coaches. We've gotten nice seeding. The seed has been planted. We got talent up here. We got some really live sophomores. We got some pretty good juniors.
Yeah.
So it's here.
Well, and listen, everybody, that's the moment. We want to inspire you. It may look like where you're at right now that, man, I'll never get there. But don't doubt, right? If this is your field of beans, then fight for it.
Fight for my beans, chomp chomp.
Yeah, fight for it. I want to leave you all with a quote today as we get ready to close out. Well, I want to just mention this. It's a Bible verse. It's another one. It's really in Zechariah. It says, "Do not despise small beginnings." And the other quote that I want to leave you with is by Ambrose Bierce, and it says, "Perseverance, a lowly virtue, whereby mediocrity achieves inglorious success."
I give a quick shout out.
Yeah, you can.
I want to shout out once again, as always, Dave Miller, our AD, for giving me this opportunity 4 years ago. I want to shout out those individuals that support Gamble Montessori. I want to shout out our boys basketball team, our program, because playing for me isn't easy. We hold you accountable. I'm going to be very demanding. We play tomorrow night against New Miami at Taylor High School at 7:30 to go up to Dayton. I'm going to say it again. Gamble Montessori has an opportunity to make history tomorrow night at Taylor High School, located at 56 Cooper Avenue, Cleves, Ohio, against New Miami. Come out there in your purple and black to support Gamble, whether you know me, whether you know us or not. Thank you. Chomp, chomp.
Chomp, chomp. Everybody, this is the LaMarqué Ward radio show where it's possible. All right, on the Inspiration, 1050 AM, 103.1 FM.
Love you, LaMarqué. Thank you for the opportunity, man.
I love you too, brother.